Well, I'm excited about thirsty lesbians who do have swords, or I guess a stick, depending.
Yes. Let's. So we've got a. I think. See, Kirsten, did you get to touch base with Bethany about the about that idea? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bethany, how would you like to interpret it? / I don't think Eli knows
I have no idea.
the truth that we decided on.
Well, I guess this is a good time to ask your question and get your revelation.
Oh shit! There was a question.
Yeah, that's
Come on, Kristen, it's your plan.
Well, because
you have a profound insight.
Oh yeah. Well, I wanted to make sure there wasn't because I have a plan. I just didn't realize there might be an actual question. I suppose.
Oh, also, I already sent this to Kristen, but I found Mia's theme song, and it's very wholesome.
It's very good.
I just put it in the StreamYard chat.
Sorry, is there an actual one that I missed in the book that I'm supposed to?
Oh, no, it's not a specific question. It's like you have a profound insight because you had a whole bunch of well, yeah, that's how you got it. A whole bunch of strings on Asheara, so you get to ask like any question you want and have a profound insight that even Asheara might not know.
Okay, awesome. That is great. So the question I want to ask you, Asheara, is when did you realize that you were not from this planet?
Okay. I think I'm trying to think of a good way to kind of put it. I think basically she had this idea when she like started to sort of see how everyone else kind of doesn't have these kind of things happen to them routinely at all, like ever. Not even the magical people. Like you got people that have magic, people that walk and talk with ghosts, people that can talk to plants and flowers and birds and bears and all of that stuff. You got people who are like master alchemists and like people who read like these really frightening books that you probably shouldn't read. You got all of that stuff, but nobody ever seems to have this sort of absolute like weird kismet nonsense happen to them. And I think she suspected that she just was not of this world. I'm not sure if she knew at that point that it was a planet thing, or if it was maybe a fairy dimension thing or something like that. But that was the point where it started to dawn on her that this was different. And I think that's also kind of tied into that 7 stars thing. Like eventually she started like noticing that there were certain constellations that followed her around, maybe like it wouldn't be like they would be floating like right behind her or something, but like they would always be like right there in that same space in the sky. When like any other constellation, like it would be, your perspective would vary based on where you were. Like this one, like if she looks straight up, there's always like this, this little sort of this little arrangement of 7 stars, like right above wherever she is, if she looks straight up. And I don't know that anybody else necessarily notices it, but it's always something like if she looks up, there they are.
That's so cool. Also, I love that thought a ton.
Oh, the navigation by the stars thing.
Yeah.
That would be super frustrating. That's why she could never be a sailor.
I guess that's why you're in a forest.
Yeah, that's just I can't go anywhere by boat. Like if I'm on a boat, like if people try to tell me, "Oh, you can navigate by the stars," I'm just like,
nope.
How?
The stars follow you. You don't follow them.
And I think Kristen had the idea that it was the leaf arrangement thing was almost more like a crop circle type effect. Like it was that sort of weird, inexplicable, like It wasn't like you had someone sitting there drawing them right. It was more like they just happened to be that way. And
Nice.
They're just trying to beam you up, and you don't know what's happening.
yep, and he's just like, and everybody on everybody up on whatever the starship or whatever it is like, why won't she just stand in the stars? We put them right there. She keeps ruining the transport apparatus every time. She just kicks them out of the way. Did you guys not tell her about this?
Well, your destiny involves something called a star, but you're probably not thinking quite so literally.
No, she was. I mean, prophecy is all metaphor, right? I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
yeah.
It can't just be like, oh, and you get in the ship and go to the stars. But at the end of the last session, I think she basically looked up into the sky and said, "Okay, I'll go." And I'm still not sure if she knows what it means what that means or what she needs to do that. But it doesn't involve hiding in the village in the deep in the woods anymore.
You are surrounded by people who can do magic.
Just with ghosts, or plants.
Hey,
Or animals or plants that act like animals, like they can move around like animals. Yeah, all sorts of stuff.
Ghost plants.
Okay, yeah, I forgot about those. There are actually ghost plants. I'd forgotten about those. Man, ghost plants.
What a world we live in.
Yes.
Or you can get bit by one. That multi-layer.
Yeah. So yeah, you said I'll go. Where do you go? What are your plans about this?
I think her initial thought, after she kind of like sort of shakes off the after effects of the magic and alchemy and all that stuff, the tea. I think she says, okay, if I'm gonna go, I need to get my stuff. And so she's gonna head back to her little hut and start trying to get the stuff she thinks she needs to travel, which involve like the ancestral sword, of course. Her clothes, her because she has like some fancy clothes. I think she's probably got a couple of like fancy pieces of jewelry that she carries around, that sort of thing. And that's probably going to take her a while because like she has not organized things to just grab and travel. So things are like put away, things are tucked in places that she doesn't remember where she put them, that sort of thing.
You've moved into this house and
yeah, I unpacked and nothing is easy to find anymore. Once you unpack all those moving boxes, like it's done. You've ruined it all, and you'll have to like spend weeks repacking.
Yeah. Did you bring a lot of stuff with you when you came to this village, or is this stuff you've accumulated while you've lived here?
I think some of like she bought like a set of fancy clothes. She has the ancestral sword. She had some of her jewelry. But a lot of this stuff is stuff that she's kind of slowly been accumulating. Like, somebody would like give her like a feast day gift or something like that. Or like maybe she had a fling or two with some of the locals. Like nothing serious, but like you trade maybe flowers or maybe a wreath or nice little things like that. And she gradually sort of built up these little bits and pieces of things, and occasionally she'd go into town and buy a new piece of clothing, or would get like a basket or a pot or something like that. And so gradually she's built up to where she's like has an actual fully livable home where she could actually like cook things and store food and things like that through just the slow process of almost like osmosis. She's just slowly absorbed just all of these things into into this structure. And she doesn't really understand she's not really sure how it happened, really. It's like, where did all this stuff come from? Like when I came here, I had like one backpack's worth of stuff. And where's my backpack?
I can identify.
Must accumulate.
If there is space, you will eventually get junk to fill it. Like I've discovered that.
Uh-huh. It's one of those laws of physics.
Nature abhors a vacuum or any sort of open, unfilled space in a home.
No, I think that's entropy. We can't allow things to be clean. We must add more stuff.
Well, maybe there are multiple like universal laws just kind of interacting to basically stuff homes full of junk.
Yeah, I can agree to that.
Awesome. So, while Asheara is going through all of her stuff and like packing, the two of you, Mia and Jenna, I think eventually, like, so the love potion doesn't wear off right away. I don't think it's a permanent thing, but I don't think it wears off in an hour or so. But like the immediate effects of it do.
So you're saying we're not a giggling mess hanging out?
I mean, it might be, but you're not. It's not chemically induced now.
Good.
And like you did just stop a weird ghost grass from taking over the village, and there is this whole thing about like the sheriff apparently has it in for Periwinkle. There's a lot of stuff to think about here, and there's a lot of stuff that I don't know. Maybe you want to do something about. I'm not sure. So, what did each of you do?
Yeah, I think like as it is wearing off, that he is kind of like looking around. It's like, where did Asheara go?
That's
So
probably
like right over there.
Didn't she have? Oh, we didn't think she had some because we messed up. I forgot about that. Yeah, we should probably find her.
I mean, unless you think that she wants to be alone.
I think she was poisoned, and then we fixed the poison, and maybe she may not be feeling completely well yet. So probably worth finding her, even if she doesn't really want to be around people.
That makes sense. He kind of like hops up and offers you a hand. Let's go find her then.
Yep. What is my character's name again? Jenna. Jenna takes your hand and is a little reluctant to let it go as we go off. Gotta find Asheara. Where do you think she would go first?
I don't know. I mean, we could check her hut. That seems like a good place to start.
That seems like a perfectly reasonable place to start. So
do you like knock on the door, or do you just barge in?
Oh yeah, we just barge in. You knock on your friends' doors.
I mean, you're witches. You're used to just going wherever you want.
Yeah, we're only mildly affected by intoxicants. Like, it's fine.
Yeah. And friends, it'll be fine.
Yep.
Let's see. I think probably. How long do you think it had been before you guys had gotten up from there? Maybe like 30 minutes, an hour. How long has Asheara had to stumble around the house digging for things?
I mean, probably not. I think closer to like 45 minutes, like not a super short amount of time, but not a super long amount of time, because I think you also accidentally got the love potion as well, so you were part of that. So it would still, even though you didn't get necessarily the full dose of it, I think you are still in that circle, so having you missing would still matter.
Okay. So, and she's probably still a little bit buzzed by the potion stuff. So I'm guessing she's also kind of moving a lot slower than she might otherwise if she was planning to make a run for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, when you come in, I think, if memory serves, I don't think none of these houses are like super complicated. They're probably all like maybe 1, maybe 2 room houses, like with like a big open area and maybe like a kitchen. Part of it is set up like a small kitchen area. Part of it's got like a little curtain for a bedroom, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. I think you see like close to the door where she has like a small table and a couple of chairs. I think on the table you see like it looks like some stuff has been gathered. You see her like sword hanging off the back of one of the chairs, and you see 2 or 3 bags. They look like each of them have been partially packed and then like unpacked and then like like repacked again. And I think you hear from the curtained off bedroom area, I knew it was here. And then she sort of half stumbles, half walks out from behind the curtain with with an actual like honest to God like adventurer backpack. That looks like it has been stuffed under a bed for probably longer than it should have been.
Where are you going?
Mia like comes in and flops down on the bed. It's like, are we going on a trip?
Yeah, I think I have to. I mean, you guys, you both know about what's been going on with the signs and the portents and the prophecy business, and I think that the longer I sort of stay here, the more trouble I'm going to draw to the village. I just don't see. I don't see a good way for me staying here long term to really end unless I take care of whatever this prophecy is wanting me to do. And it doesn't help that I still am not really sure what exactly it wants me to do. But like worse and worse things keep happening. And this I'm worried that this business with the Baron and the sheriff that might have something to do with the prophecy. I don't know, because it just seems odd that all of a sudden there would be people interested in this in this small little village that's been tucked away in the forest. I mean, even if it used to be a bandit camp, it hasn't been a bandit camp for at least 10 years. I mean, you got little kids here, and none of them like remember their parents being bandits.
I mean, how often do little kids remember much anyway?
Well, yeah, okay. That's probably a good point, actually. But like people have settled down. Like bandits don't like build houses; they like hide in tents that they can grab and run with, right?
I mean, people do what people need to, and people like stability. And but like, I get wanting to do the prophecy stuff, but doesn't that mean you won't be here anymore? Like, do you get to stay?
Well, I don't know what I have to do to complete this prophecy. I don't know what it's going to entail.
I mean, you just said it. We need you to help defend the town. You're the one with the fighting skills. Mia says while waving her stick around.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Well, I'm not that great of a fighter. I mean, I don't mean to sound mean. I'm just better than most everybody else here, except for maybe Phoebe. But Phoebe's probably
He's not really here.
Well, apparently she moves around. She's been around a good bit that we just didn't recognize because like people in the village apparently know her. Just we didn't really know her.
Again, maybe we don't pay the best attention. It is possible, but also I guess if we can't really talk you out of going, can we go with you?
And you can tell she's kind of torn about that idea because she doesn't.
Magic potion.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably that makes it a lot easier for you guys to get these vibes off her. I think that
maybe you're like reaching out, Jenna.
Is that a thing?
Isn't that a thing?
It's called what is it called in this game?
Emotional support.
That's it.
Nice. Let's do some emotional support.
These don't end well for us, do they?
Yeah, but you've got so many.
Well, last time they're the only roles that ended well last time.
Okay. I remember our general social roles were not great.
Well, that's just our social roles.
That was just the turn someone on rolls.
Yeah.
These ended really well because you used strings, I think. If I'm remembering right. Maybe.
That is fair. Do we have a dice place?
Oh, right. We do. It's let me find adequately charmed unicorn. There it is.
That's a very good name.
It is. It's so good that I kept it for this game. It was actually for a previous campaign of the same game, but I kept it for this one because it was so appropriate.
It is so good. Okay. Where does these things live? Oh. Okay. Sorry. Gotta make sure to have the actual book so I remember what's happening. Heart or soul?
Do you have the?
Well, it just said heart or soul on it.
Oh, that's right. That's yeah.
I would like to use soul if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. How do you do it? Like, you're probably using some sort of magic here, or
I'm using the real understanding I have of where Asheara's future lies and where that destiny is to really understand how to feed into it to help figure out that stuff. So let's roll that. That is a 7.
Hey, you made it. 7's all you need.
Yeah, I'm glad I used soul instead of heart. So cool.
So providing the support is more draining than invigorating, but they get to choose one from below if they open up to you. So what's Asheara's response to this?
Let's see. How since you use soul, is this you doing almost kind of like a cold read sort of mystic thing, or
sort of, but more of because I understand where your path is, using that information to try to convince you that perhaps we need to be involved. So I guess less of a emotional support, but more of you need us for reasons you may not understand yet. And maybe that was not the best way to rephrase that, hence why it was not very helpful for any of us. Womp womp.
Hmm.
So
Well, maybe I think, and you tell me what y'all think of this. The maybe what the part of the destiny that you seize on is the star part, and the fact that you've noticed that weird constellation effect that she has, and you sort of attach that, well, if you, even these stars that like follow you around, like there's not just one of them.
It's true.
There's more than one star. There's 3 or 4 or whatever. So if even the stars don't try to go off and do things and serve as portents by themselves, then maybe that's a sign that you need help too, kind of thing.
Oh man, that's super convincing. Thank you for coming up with this.
I remember we'd done the constellation thing, and I kind of wanted to work more with that. So I was like, hey, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I think she's, I think that keyed on to her just general reluctance to like kind of let go of both you and this kind of like weird little quasi, semi almost maybe utopian sort of thing that we have going in the middle of these like scary semi haunted woods.
They are haunted. They're not semi. They're haunted. There's ghosts there.
You did, in fact, get bitten by said haunted creature last time.
Yes.
That
was a garden. That's not the woods. That was the garden.
Yeah, that's the safe version. We haven't seen the dangerous version yet.
Well, I was just thinking like that garden is specifically made more dangerous by the fact that Periwinkle is growing all of these like weird like witch plants that she needs for whatever it is she's doing.
Oh, witch plants are everywhere. I'm sure this is just the first place you've noticed them.
And that's not that's really not comforting at all. Let's see. I think she sort of slumps back into one of the little chairs around the table, and she says, maybe that's right. I don't know how any of the prophecy is supposed to work. Like nobody really told me anything, and I'm not sure if that's because they thought I was supposed to figure it out on my own, or if it's something that they didn't even know themselves. And like if it's something that has to do with me like traveling to some other world or something, like I can't say that I wouldn't want you to come with me, but I don't think it's something I'd be comfortable like pulling you into, because I don't know what it's going to entail, and I don't know what else will happen, and I also don't want to leave the village, undefended. Periwinkle is, and I'm guessing Slithering Phoebe were certainly like more than capable of dealing with any problems. Maybe a decade ago, but I think based on what y'all you would based on what Periwinkle has said, based on what Slithering Phoebe has said, like I think they don't see themselves as being able to protect the village like they used to.
So what that means is first we solve the town, like our village's problem, and then we all go adventuring. That's what I'm hearing you say. So you need to stop packing and we need to start planning. It'll be fine.
Mia hops up on the bed, is like, yes, that's the idea. And like still swishing the sword around, is like, so where are the bad guys? How do we fight them?
Okay, so we need to and I think you kind of get the feeling that she's sort of like, she might not have completely given up on the idea of having to go, but she's definitely latched on to the idea that she should try to secure the village before she leaves. So she's definitely sort of latched onto that. Maybe like a lifeline. Maybe it's something that inside her head she can justify, like doing this, which she is worried is putting people in more danger, but it also helps her rationalize, like, not just running off. So
Jenna will take it for all it's worth.
Mia, most of that like interaction kind of goes over Mia's head.
Oh, poor little Mina.
now, admittedly, she's also playing with that sword, so that's kind of distracting too. I mean,
She's taking out so many bad guys with her sword while bouncing on the bed. It's adorable.
That is extremely adorable.
the really scary part is, in the hands of a nature witch, that stick might actually be more dangerous than a sword.
Yeah. The other scary part is that if we remember, she like fought Slithering Phoebe in practice session and held her own last time. So like,
she knows how to use the stick.
Yeah, we're still not sure exactly where she learned how to use a stick like that. Like, that's some surprisingly intricate technique. Like, that's a backstep, pirouette, parry, and thrust. Like, where did you learn that?
There's some hidden backstory to be revealed.
Yes.
Okay, so that brings me so much joy. Okay. So what do we know? We know that Periwinkle is in trouble. We know that all of my brain is so fuzzy from that potion. I'm sure. No, it was worth it. It was way worth it. Jenna does not make eye contact with anybody during that and turns bright red.
As you're talking about how it was so worth it to take love potion with everyone.
And I think Asheara's still a little bit distracted, so that, like, she almost caught on to that, but then it just sort of, like, she latched onto the idea of coming up with a plan. He says, yes, okay, that first step in any plan is we need to make note of the things that we know about the people that are going to be trouble. So
I mean, they want the power in the woods, right? So we just have to go there and defend it. Fight them off.
And I'm not sure if they know what the power in the woods that they're going after is. Do we know what it is?
Yeah, of course I know.
Okay.
You
All
do?
Oh,
Yeah.
she does now.
Dude.
I don't know that she's told us what it is, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's the wellspring.
Oh.
It's like, you all keep talking about it. The place is special, but it's special because the wellspring of power is there. I thought you guys could know. You can't like feel it right now. Like, it's that way. She like spins a few times and just like points, and is like dead on points exactly in the direction of
it's at Jim's potato farm.
Farther than
No,
that.
past it, stupid.
I mean, that would be a good place to hide at the wellspring of power.
Nobody would ever look. They'd be like, okay, that's just the potato farm. Where is
It's on the back edge of the potato farm.
It's in the woods.
If I'm remembering right, it's near the waterfall, right?
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's a picturesque potato farm. Why are you judging this potato farm?
Potato farms can be really pretty. Like, while the potato plants are growing, they're like really nice. They're very green and verdant. Like, they're not bad.
I don't think the ghosts like there. I mean, they kind of, or at least my friends don't like there as much, but it's nice. I guess not as many ghosts talk to me there, which is different.
The ghosts are all hanging around the garden,
Yeah.
talking to their friends, the plants.
Yes.
Or waiting to meet new ghosts when one of the random villagers gets a little too close to that garden.
There's not as many random villagers, mainly young witches who can't keep their,
Yes.
their incorporeal form straight.
Yeah, I guess probably the villagers figured out pretty quick. It's like, hey, yeah, let's not go over there. Those are scary. One of those plants hissed at me.
I don't think I've been hissed at a plant, and I think if the plant hissed at me, that would be enough. I would not. I would not venture further.
No. Cool. Okay, so
So we know they're after the wellspring. We think based on what I had overheard, what the sheriff and discussing the Baron, I think the Baron and the sheriff have a particular interest in the forest in general and Periwinkle in particular. Probably based on the past bandit activities, and they probably wouldn't mind getting their hands on the wellspring as well if they have any sort of like pet wizard or anything that could make use of it.
I definitely heard that as pet lizard and got really excited.
It could also be a lizard.
as pet lizard.
The wizard could be a lizard. Like, let's not.
That is true. That is very true. Yeah. So we just have to lure Rosie and the mayor's cronies to the wellspring, where we'll definitely have Periwinkle help us, and then we'll solve all the problems all at once.
All of the problems, yes, definitely.
Perfect. And then we're going on an adventure.
Yeah.
Solve the prophecy.
Yeah. All in one go.
So how do you plan to do this?
Do we really have to get Rosie involved? I mean, she would seem like a wild card, and I don't get the impression that she's necessarily she's necessarily malicious in this. I think, as mistaken as I think she's probably is, I don't get the impression that she's malicious.
I mean, it doesn't matter if she's malicious or not if she can get a message to people and set them up for our trap.
Okay. That seems reasonable. They do seem to be prone to following her into dark woods.
It is.
We may as well make use of that. I mean, she apparently is very convincing.
Let's just assume they didn't learn from experience.
They didn't get scared by the vine trap and the jellyfish. Yep. Not a problem. So tonight or 2 nights from now, should we set everyone up for, I guess?
We probably need 2 nights, because we need to make sure that number one, whatever this was that is still messing with my head a little, has worn off, because I don't think I'd be much good if we had to actually fight somebody right now.
Jenna had just stopped being bright red. And I think she's getting clear-brained enough to kind of put together what Asheara was talking about, that maybe Asheara's tea was tainted with the love potion tea, and turns bright red again.
And as you're thinking about that, Mia hops down off the bed and throws an arm around Jenna, and is like, "What are you talking about? We're all in touch with each other, right?" Yeah.
And Asheara's just basically taking this as, oh well, y'all made some mildly intoxicating tea to kind of help with the ghost business. She figures it's medicinal and just really strong. So,
I mean, it is. You don't feel the ghost thing anymore.
It totally worked. But like any strong medicine, it leaves you a little off kilter and lightheaded. So she, that's what she's thinking is going on.
Yes, that's definitely true. We are all in touch with each other, and yeah, Jenna awkwardly like reaches out to also touch Asheara at the same time.
Mhm.
I don't think Asheara, like, she is always a little standoffish, but I think like she sort of leans into it a little now. Like maybe the that sort of edge she usually carries around is a little off right now because of the effects of the tea.
Should this be an entice roll? Are you trying to get Asheara
Yeah.
to do anything?
Sure. Why not?
I believe in you. Roll the dice.
Thank you.
Time for a social roll.
Yay! What
Fingers
does
crossed.
Heart.
Okay, sorry. I'm trying to find entice on heart. It is heart. Oh man. Oh friends, this is gonna be okay and only okay. And never mind. Even though okay, that was an 11.
Oh,
Oh,
hey.
man.
So it's fine. I thought it was my negative stat and
Easy.
it didn't matter.
So strong.
So strong.
Yeah. So you just gained another string on Asheara. How many strings do you have on Asheara now?
I only have 3, so
Okay. One more, you get another profound insight.
Oh my God.
and another XP and
pretty much.
Yeah. But also, Asheara, you get to choose one from that list.
Okay, let me look through that list again.
You can either get flustered and awkward, promise something you think they want, or give in to desire.
Well, see, I think we added on last time, since we did those extra questions, that that Jenna is more important to Asheara than she lets on.
Yep.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
So I think she I think she leans into it probably a little harder than she should, and I think she basically sort of like leans in close and awkwardly and maybe a little intoxicatedly romantically. Like that vibe comes on like, and it feels especially strong from Asheara, who almost never shows that stuff.
Oh, nice. Am I still being half cuddled by Mia at the same time?
Now, Mia's dancing around on the bed with a sword.
No, because Mia jumped off.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think Mia's like kind of close. I think they might back off a little bit as Asheara's coming in.
Fair.
I mean, like, unless Jenna would like stop that.
And I think it can either be like depending on how Jenna reacts, it can either be like the flustered or awkward thing where like she came on stronger than she should have, and like Jenna is like pulls back a little, or it could be basically she's pushing ahead based on the given to desire part of that.
I think Jenna kind of gets super flustered by it all, because actually was not expecting anything from Asheara. And was actually expecting Asheara to just walk away and not appreciate the pun that she made. And instead just kind of like freezes and tries to just give both of these people hugs at the same time and be like, this is of course the thing that was intentionally happening and it's not weird at all.
Oh, and is it the awkward back pad hugs now?
Like, I don't know if you've tried to hug 2 people at the same time where you just make an awkward like little huddle circle.
As you're doing this, Munster floats up out of your pocket because Munster, it says right here, Munster is good at hugs. It like wraps his glowy, ghostly jellyfish tentacles around all 3 of you.
Oh my God.
Now it's super awkward, but
No, Munster's good at this.
oh, he's super good at it. But like Asheara's not used to the ghost hugs. Like usually she just sees Munster hugging on you or maybe Mia, but like I don't think that she's been on the receiving end of too many ghost hugs. So she's just like,
Fair.
oh, okay.
Mia makes it not romantic by giggling.
Yep. Jenna also starts giggling because this is too many feelings and too awkward.
I think Asheara like joins in, but her giggle is extra awkward because she was pressing forward with the like desire part of it, and then like that like went way off, and now she's being hugged by a jellyfish ghost.
Could see where
There are like, once it lets go, there are lines, like glowing lines on your clothes where like the
Like, we
tentacles
get the
were.
little suction cup dots.
Yeah, like rows of not lines, rows of yeah.
nice.
Yes.
Cool. So now that we have yeah, a plan. We were making a plan for the future about the town. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. We've got to. We want to lure whoever this other group is. If it's just the sheriff and her cronies, great. That's a small group. We can probably deal with them without trying to drag too many other people into it. If it's a bigger group, like if the Baron is going to send like soldiers, that might be something we'll need to get extra help with. We might have to call in Slithering Phoebe and Periwinkle, and maybe a couple of the more capable villagers to kind of help us get set up something.
Oh,
Ooh,
come on, we can take them.
I mean,
If we
that's
could set up traps, I guess we probably could, hamstring their ability to operate, especially in the middle of the woods. Just depends on how many people they bring with them and what their level of training is.
I mean, the thing is, we could always just ask Crone Periwinkle to figure out what she would like to do, because like she's probably dealt with this before in some way or another, and we can just be the muscle and she can be the brains, and we don't have to think about anything.
She has indicated that she wants you to like stay and help protect the town. I believe the term was forever, Jenna.
Jenna's trying to purposely ignore some of the things and be like, yes, she can help us make a plan without knowing that we are planning on leaving soon after. Potentially.
Good.
Can't possibly go wrong. Just like the love potion couldn't have possibly
Ah.
gone wrong.
Nothing wrong here.
Okay, so I guess we can talk to her about the trap, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I don't want to get overwhelmed and then have everything go exactly the opposite way that we had planned.
And maybe if we can, maybe talk to Slithering Phoebe, because apparently she's very, very good at traps.
It's
That
true.
is, I mean, we
She
did
does.
walk into it.
Yeah. I mean, she caught us. She caught the other people right after us. I mean,
That
And
is
she
that
knows
is
the area around the grove too.
yeah.
Yeah, I was over there with her just yesterday.
Was it? Huh. I guess I didn't realize you wandered off that way often.
Yeah, it's all like warm and nice. And the skin gets all tingly.
Fair. That
Okay.
does seem like a good reason to go.
Kind of like for Jenna being bitten by a ghost plant.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds less dangerous than getting bit by a ghost plant.
It's like you get hooked up to a car battery.
That doesn't sound pleasant either.
But in the like, now I can shoot this electricity out of my fingertips kind of way.
like it hooked up to it in a comic book way. Like
Exactly.
radiation in comic, just like radiation in comic books doesn't kill you, it gives you superpower.
Yeah, that's the kind of hooked up.
Yep.
Okay, so are you all going to like split up and each go to one of these people, or are you going to go as a group? And how are you going to get these people to work with you?
Let's see. Well, it sounds like Jenna, you've got a fairly reasonable relationship with Periwinkle.
Sure.
So you can maybe touch base with her. Mia, it sounds like you know how to at least know how to make contact with Phoebe. So
Yeah,
maybe
I
you
can do that.
ask her if she'd be willing to kind of help set this up. I guess I can try and talk to Rosie and see if she'd be willing to like relay this information, or should I set it up to where she doesn't think she's just relaying information? Should she be in on the trick, or do you think we need
I
her to
don't think she
believe?
should be in on it.
Okay, so we want to basically keep her thinking that she's actually setting the other guys up for some like some whatever they would be doing at the wellspring. So she should actually be, or at least think she is, helping them.
She'll be more predictable that way.
Okay. Okay, when should I? Yeah. Okay. So
Casual manipulation.
So we need 2 days from now. We need them to try to get to the wellspring. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So if we do, what would be a good way to get to get her to be convinced that they should show up at the wellspring? It sounds like they're interested in Periwinkle. Maybe we could let slip that Periwinkle is going to do some sort of like magic thing at the wellspring.
I mean,
on
it seems
a
they're
particular
always
day.
really interested in magic.
Huh?
They're always really interested in magic. Like when I was talking to Val, they're asking me all kinds of questions about magic.
Okay, well maybe that's what they were. Maybe that's what they're after. So they might have two interests. They specifically mentioned wanting to catch up with Periwinkle, like specifically her. So we could mention that Periwinkle's going to be there and it's going to be at the wellspring. So maybe that would hit both of their buttons that we know they have. They could have a chance to get at Periwinkle and a chance to get to the wellspring, right?
Yeah, and also like this, maybe that's where we set the meeting space to be, because isn't that part of what Rosie was looking for, was to have our elected figure have the conversation with the Baron's men to figure out whether or not we needed policing in our village?
That's what Rosie said.
Well, why not give Rosie what she set it up that way, because then
okay. Oh, I think I get it. I think I get what you're saying. We would tell that Periwinkle will be willing to meet with them at the wellspring.
yeah, because then there's a little less lying involved.
Okay. All right. I'll figure out a way to get that information to Rosie and hopefully get her to act on it with the 2 days time. So we'll tell them they'll be meeting Periwinkle in 2 days time at the wellspring location. Now, let's see. I think Asheara has been to the wellspring at least once or twice, so she knows where it is, so she can just tell Rosie, and probably everybody in the village has probably been at least there once.
Yeah, you all know where it is. You don't maybe all know like what's so special about it, but it is kind of a gathering place. Probably they're probably summer solstice rituals or something that happen there. Because where else would you do that, right?
Yeah, and it's really nice and pretty, and like all the flowers are bright colors, and the leaves are especially vibrant there during the fall, that sort of thing.
It's just a nice place to hang out.
For some reason, the plants like the wellspring.
Yeah.
Somehow, relatedly.
Okay, so let's see. How about what we do, Jenna and Periwinkle first.
Yeah, sounds great. Jenna goes up to the door, or goes up to the garden gate and knocks loudly. Crone Periwinkle, are you there?
She's there. You see her, she's like kind of bending down to pet one of these plants that's like just kind of winding around her leg like a cat.
Nice.
Like it's still rooted to the ground, but the vine is just twisting around her ankle. And she like kind of reaches down, gives it a pat, and then, kind of detangles it and walks over to open the gate.
We
You're
Hi.
back soon?
Well, yes. We have a
Recipe
plan.
nuts. Do you need more plants?
That seemed to work okay. Yeah. Thank you for the recipe.
Oh, you've used it already.
Maybe, possibly.
You were supposed to use it on the soldier. She's
Yeah.
not here, right? Well, wait,
No,
wait,
no,
wait. Did one of you bring a soldier back to this village?
No, there are no soldiers here. I am so sorry. Truth be told, I accidentally got bit by the wrong snake in your garden, which was a mistake. Rattlesnake plant, and had to have my friends help me, and then perhaps as a remembered that we're alive thing / calming down from that. It was complicated. How many times can people have this tea within a given period of time?
I don't know. I've never.
Well,
You're a witch. There's only one way to find out: trial and error.
that is very true. Yes. So the original plan we had wasn't gonna work out for a lot of different reasons, but I didn't realize that at the time. She's turning more and more red through this conversation because having this intense conversation with Crone Periwinkle was not her plan of a good day, and nothing like being slightly teased by your elders in a process that you weren't supposed to. Jenna wasn't completely convinced that Periwinkle was absolutely sure that we were going to give this to the soldier.
Well, yeah. Look, come on in. You can gather some more plants, and you can now that you've tried it, you know that it works. That's good. That's a good start. But if you want to give some to the soldier, you're going to need more. So yeah, come on in.
Also, I'd like to talk to you about the wellspring while we're at it.
The wellspring.
Yeah. We're thinking of trying to see if we can outmaneuver the other parties involved at the wellspring in a couple of days, and was wondering if you could provide backup or air support.
Oh, wow. The wellspring is. You're thinking of bringing the sheriff or the baron, whoever shows up to the wellspring. Well, I suppose you wouldn't. I suppose you should know some things if you're going to protect the village. Yeah. Well, her broom isn't outside, but yes, she would be. All right. Look, you told you yesterday. No, today, I guess. This hasn't been always a law-abiding village. Well, a more or less mostly law-abiding village. What I'm gonna tell you is maybe how we were. Let's just say the lords and ladies didn't come through this forest on the road that goes through the center of it without quite a bit of backup.
You are doing, or others?
Oh, well, mine and others.
So you'll be perfect backup. I mean, we knew that there was the bandit past, and well, that doesn't quite explain to me why we shouldn't meet people at the wellspring.
Well, the thing is, what's under the wellspring?
What's under the wellspring?
So did you know there was a cave behind the waterfall?
No. I mean, I don't
Now you
tend to
do.
go to the wellspring very often. It feels different.
It would, yes. Yeah, so now you know there's a cave under the waterfall. It meets a tunnel that goes beneath the wellspring that we may have dug there as a place to hide things that, the toll we collected.
So there's a hoard in the cave underneath the waterfall?
Not much of one anymore. Just a few small items.
Good items? Not cursed items.
Well, there's one that I've never learned how to use it. I don't know. I can't tell how to use it, but the old Baron wanted it for some reason. Wanted it quite a bit.
Was this the thing to get rid of ghosts?
Maybe? Yeah, I suppose that's possible. He claimed that he could protect the land with it. So we thought, hey, if you can protect the land with it, we want it here. So we put it under the wellspring. And the bandit, or not the bandit, the Baron must have been serious. When I heard when the messenger who was supposed to carry it to him showed up empty-handed, he was thrown in prison.
Oh.
So I don't know how to use it. I don't know for sure that the old Baron knew how to use it, but he was convinced that it was powerful.
So does that mean we should go see it, just so we can make sure? Because I don't know. Mia's good at doing elemental, like, foresty stuff. And Asheara, well, has a future in a different path. Maybe between the three of us we can.
Oh, I suppose it's possible. It sounds as if you may need it. But what I meant to say is that I know there's a new Baron, but surely he's heard about this thing if it's that important. And I am not sure that I would take the Baron's people to where it is.
So we can just move it and then take it somewhere else. Could we leave it with you in your cottage?
Well, we left it under the wellspring to hide it.
Well, if they know about it, is it well hidden?
It's not if you spend a lot of time looking for it. It's well hidden in the sense that no one could sense it. If something that powerful, then probably someone could, with some magical abilities, could find it. So we put it where it would be drowned out by more power.
That makes sense. And I think I'd like to see it. Is there anything we would need to know to go behind the waterfall?
Don't slip.
That's good advice in life. It's really icy here. Okay. So maybe we'll do that tonight. and then figure out if we need to move it or not, or if we can use it or not for tomorrow. That was really helpful. Thank you so much. And maybe can I still bother you for those ingredients?
Yeah, of course you can. Though it sounds like you have a different plan now.
You gotta have more options in the future, potentially, with a lot of people around. It'll be fine. Who doesn't need a love potion on demand in their own home to give to their friends? Not with their friends, but to their... Anyway, I'm making a fool of myself.
And you like watch her regretting giving you permission, but she did give you permission, so you can go collect the ingredients.
Goal is not to get bit by the wrong rattlesnake plant this time.
Yeah.
And just have the ingredients on hand, but I don't think she's gonna make any. It's just, they're also just good, solid, ingredients to have about.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what she's telling herself.
Of course.
Absolutely. Let's see. You know where? I don't think we need to go through that whole thing again. So I think we can just collect the plan.
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
But while you're there, you do get a request, such as it is from Spegel, the ghost horse.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to stay in the garden and eat ghost plants. He's a horse.
Spegel, we've talked about that. You know what? Actually, Spegel, I know.
He has a string on you, by the way. That's his request.
Yeah, I had assumed so. Dang it! Can I out-talk my ghost horse friend?
You take conditions because your ghost horse wants to eat weird shit.
Yeah. Jenna is going to try to talk Spegel, the warhorse, into perhaps not eating the ghost plants in Crone Periwinkle's garden, and perhaps maybe he would definitely, absolutely prefer the grass, the ghost grass in Mia's backyard.
Oh, hey, that's a good point. Which I had forgotten that was still ghost grass.
I don't want to fight the witch.
Stop fretting, but the ghost grass, there is still ghost grass there. Cool. Let's see. I think, yeah.
Do I have to roll against him?
Yeah, there's no like convince roll. And
is it defy danger? Because trying to convince him not to eat stuff that would put us in a dangerous position with Periwinkle.
Yeah, you have a point there. Sure, I think that would be good, or maybe figure out a person to figure out like what would work.
Okay, so
how can I get you to
That is fair. Let me figure out. A person is wit. Do I have that?
Always the question.
I do not have wit.
Yes. Just like me.
Only one of you has wit.
Awesome. So are you thinking wit rather than defy?
Yeah, I think you're figuring it. Well, I don't know. Tell me how you're gonna do this. I guess. Are you just trying to reason with him, or?
I am trying to reason with a horse. And some of this reasoning might perhaps be trying to push the ghost horse out of the garden.
Okay, that seems more like a defy danger then.
Cool. What is defy danger plus then? Sorry,
I think this is going to be plus soul. You're dealing with a ghost.
Oh, I'm dealing with a ghost. Okay, yeah. I can handle that. Okay, we're going to re-roll the selected. That is a 7 plus 2. That's a 9.
Hey, all right. So you can... Oh, okay. Success at a cost or a hard choice. Okay, yeah. If you you can get him out of here if you just leave right now. If you hang around collecting plants for love potion, there's no way he's not going to just eat all the ghost plants while you're there.
Jenna will leave the love potion ingredients behind because she did remember how unimpressed Periwinkle was already with her, and she doesn't actually want to make that worse.
Yeah, you don't. You want a witch to be on your good side.
Yeah,
you are a witch. You know this.
Yeah, some things are worth giving up on in order to make sure that you have continued support in the future.
But Spegel is quite happy to hang out in Mia's backyard eating ghost grass, which is good. It gets rid of the ghost grass too.
Yeah,
Perfect.
2 in 1.
Mia, are you home? Do you see this, or are you off?
I think I'm off. I think I'm
Maybe.
off doing my own chores. So
Okay. So what are you doing? What are your chores?
yeah, I mean, Mia's part of the plan is that she's supposed to get Phoebe to help fight, which doesn't seem very hard, honestly. Like Phoebe seems pretty ready to fight people.
Phoebe seems to, yeah. If there's anyone in this village that's ready to fight, it's her. Although not so much in the village. She's kind of a hermit. She lives outside the village, but comes in and visits Periwinkle sometimes, which is why she was surprised you hadn't seen her before. Also, you hang out in the woods too, so she's seen you. You just haven't seen her.
He's kind of oblivious.
Yeah.
If you hadn't noticed.
So you're gonna go looking for slithering
Yeah,
Phoebe.
I'm gonna wander around the woods, yelling out for her.
Okay. I mean, that'll work. Yeah, she'll hear you. So you're walking around yelling, and you hear a sound above you, and like, as you look up, like a lasso just comes and falls down around you and tightens up, and then slithering Phoebe doesn't lift you up with it. Just climbs down out of the tree laughing. Says, "Oh, you gotta look sharp. Gotta pay attention to where you're going."
Well, I was looking for you and I found you, so I think I won. I think it worked.
You won only because I'm on your side, but if I had been one of those soldiers, never mind. You would have heard them coming a mile away. That armor.
Yeah, it just doesn't. The forest doesn't like it. It makes noises.
Right. Okay. The forest doesn't like it. Therefore, okay.
But speaking of the soldiers, we have a plan, and we're gonna fight them. Do you want to help?
You are gonna fight the soldiers.
Yes,
I'll help if we're not talking. How many soldiers are you planning to fight, and how many people are you going to get to fight them?
Well, we're gonna fight as many soldiers as show up, and we've got you and me and Jenna and Asheara and maybe Crumb Periwinkle.
Versus as many soldiers as...
Shouldn't be too bad.
Please tell me you have a plan?
We fight them and win. That is the plan.
What if 20 soldiers show up?
And we trap them in a net like you did earlier.
I can certainly try. When is this happening? Just whenever they decide to show up, because that could be...
No, that's another part of the plan. They're coming 2 days from now.
2 days. And they won't be here before then. That's
probably not
important.
I don't think so.
All right.
That's
And
it's not part of the plan for them to be here.
she starts thinking and kind of talking a little bit to herself and rubbing her hands together. All right, I see. Yeah, this could work. This could work.
Exactly.
And you can like watch her like expression getting brighter and brighter, like, hey, this sounds like fun. And she's completely just talking herself into it, I think. And so she looks where okay. Where are we meeting him?
Somewhere by the wellspring. So then there's lots of power to draw from.
That's smart. That's smart. You all right. Well, I can set up traps. Please look out for traps.
Oh,
when
it's
this
fine.
happens.
I'm not going to fall into the traps if they're already set. Because the vines and trees and stuff will tell me where they are.
They didn't yesterday.
Well, I was distracted by those other people.
Right. See that you aren't distracted again. Because it would be very bad if 20 soldiers showed up and most of our people were in nets.
It's fine. I'll be paying attention this time.
All right. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. And she like runs off before you can even, say anything else. She runs off sort of in the direction of the wellspring.
Well, mission accomplished.
So what is Asheara up to?
Asheara is going to go see if she can catch up to Rosie and talk to her about setting up a meeting with these soldiers.
Cool.
Or maybe the sheriff, or like whoever. I'm guessing her main contact is probably the sheriff. That's my guess as to who Rosie spoke to.
It would either be the sheriff or someone who like works with her. Yeah, we'll just say it's with the sheriff to simplify things. So yeah, she has been meeting with the sheriff in town and kind of working out what she thinks is a good deal for the village. So yeah, she lets you into the house and you've reconsidered?
Well,
Seen sense?
Well, I have. I'm still not sure about the whole thing, honestly. But I talked to Periwinkle, and she's willing to talk with some of the with these folks, but she doesn't want them to come to the village to do it. She wants to meet them somewhere else. She's still not trusting enough to have them come to the village to start with.
Well, I have to say you must be more convincing than I am. I didn't think she'd ever see things my way.
I don't know that she will, but she's willing to at least meet with them. See, I'm not saying she's going to agree to anything. I can't say that, but she's willing to at least meet with them. And she suggested that we set up the meeting in 2 days and do it at that big clearing near the wellspring.
Yeah, I can see.
That's not in the village, and it gives folks, if things go bad, everybody can just jump into the forest and be gone.
That's strangely reasonable.
See, but I mean, it's the tricky part. Like, there's no guarantee that we're going to get any result out of this that you like. I mean, she still might say no. But
well, that's fair enough. I should have been dealing with you all this time instead of trying to talk sense into witches.
I don't know that I've talked sense into them, but like, I'm just saying that she will listen. Not that she's going to actually like go that way, but she'll listen. So
That's all I can ask for. It's better than I expected. I'll go.
and let's set these. Let's try to do this. Maybe not like late at night. Like arrange to get them there like maybe mid-afternoon or something.
I'll go meet with them today and bring them back. Start back in the morning.
2 days.
Here.
Yeah, 2 days. 2 days from now.
All right. She looks a little bit suspicious, but like this is what she's been asking for all along. So, she's not gonna turn it down.
That's always a good reason to be suspicious, though.
Yeah. On the other hand, like, yeah, I don't think you need to roll for that. I think she cannot turn this down because like this is what she's been trying to do the whole time. So yeah, she'll do it. She'll go and tell them, make all the arrangements and bring back the sheriff and or someone representing her.
In 2 days, the clearing by the wellspring.
All right.
At mid-afternoon, not like nighttime, not dusk.
No, I've noticed that people tend to panic if that happens.
Yes. Let's do mid-afternoon. Okay. All right. And I think Asheara, like thinking that went very well, heads out and then goes to see if she can catch up with Mia or Jenna.
I want to take my friends to the cave underneath the waterfall because that sounds either fun or dangerous or both.
You don't want to save it for the fight when things go real bad?
Proactive here. Proactive, not reactive.
I mean, okay, if you say so.
I want to set it real big, real bad.
Good.
Oh, I guess we gotta wait.
Speaking of real big, real bad things, how do people feel if the things under the cave have some large effects on Mia? Probably for the worst.
I mean, there can be more than just that under the cave, and there's like the wellspring itself, which I'm not even sure what that is. That was kind of your invention, so that's you can decide what that is.
Putting all my cards on the table, my idea of creating the wellspring was that if the wellspring exists, then I can, during the ending fight, do the Awaken the Wild move without preparation and burn the wellspring and become Dark Mia, because that sounded like fun.
Okay.
Of course.
That's good.
that was my secret plan.
Fair.
Fair. Cool. So so there's the wellspring itself, which is I'm not sure exactly what it is. It is a powerful something, probably in the ground, but not actually in this cave. And then there's like various stuff that the outlaws stashed in the cave that they just like haven't figured out what to do with. And or that they think will protect the village. One or the other. Maybe a little of both.
And there's that whatever that thing is that they took from the last Baron.
Yeah, there's that.
Maybe
it's one of the things they don't know what to do with.
Maybe it is something to do with ghosts, and that's why Jenna doesn't really go there that often.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Because the wellspring draws people in, but there's been this thing underneath that she always thought was the wellspring, but it's this thing saying, oh, you should not be here if you are a ghost.
Ghosts don't like it much. Like, I don't know, maybe it makes a sound that hurts their ears or something. Yeah, they don't like it. It doesn't seem to kill them or anything. I mean, they're ghosts, but it seems to make them uncomfortable and they just don't want to be around it.
Yeah, like how much do you really want to like walk through a whole bunch of brambly thorns? I know, I try to find a different path, but maybe it just feels like that to ghosts.
Yeah, it's like it. I mean, you you've never heard a sound, but I think that's how they react to it, as if they were like hearing a very high pitched sound that was just irritating.
Yeah, because I can kind of, if I work hard, I can convince them to come closer. But they always tend to leave.
Yeah, they can. They just don't like it.
Yeah, and like I don't feel comfortable because all my ghosts go away, and that feels like very weird and disconnected
Where
in
are all
ways.
my friends?
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I feel connected when I have a community of friends. And if I have no community of friends as ghosts, well, that's very unsettling, and maybe I shouldn't be there.
Ghosts.
I have many pockets, so I need many ghosts.
I think I know what the thing is, but I think it is it's a sword, but it's a like broken, strange sword. Like it's kind of meant to be wielded one-handed, but it's the blade has been like chopped, so it still has like a pointy end, but the blade looks as if it's been broken, and the blade itself is black steel and has a big red gem set into the hilt.
The thing I'm thinking of is not that, but that can definitely be there.
There could be lots of things that people don't like.
There's a veritable treasure trove of dangerous, bad items.
Yeah, I could definitely see a broken sword. You know, what do we do with a broken sword? I don't know, but it's like it seems sort of magical. Maybe we ought to hold on to it. It's basically it's like Asheara's hut, you know, in bandit cave form.
It's like we're gonna find it, or like you know, I use the example of my dad's old barn. It's like I will use all of this junk that I've stored in here for 25 years someday.
Right.
Someday I will find a use for this one oddly shaped piece of tin that I took off this old thing that I broke down.
That's where it's nice to have other family members who will slowly move things out of the way, and if nobody noticed that disappeared, it disappears for real. It's a good thing.
It is. Let's see.
But I guess less happens in bandit caves. You don't have friendly family members willing to get rid of your possibly cursed items.
At this point, you might, because like, you know, this, like I said, this outlaw village has kind of turned into just a village, and you know, people have had kids. I'll bet that the kids who, you know, got lost that one time have probably found this cave.
How did they find it? We couldn't even find it.
We weren't looking.
Fair. I guess we also probably didn't have parents who were like, yeah, back in the good old days, and the place behind the cave.
The good old days of a ton of cursed magical items that we used to defend ourselves.
Yeah, well, you can tell we got a little too comfortable in town, because I think like I posted earlier, it's like we just weren't paying any attention. Like Adventurer 101 is, that's a waterfall. There's probably a cave behind that.
Yeah. You just kind of, you know, you lost your adventurer instincts.
Or we never had them to begin with.
It's also possible.
So
there's a reason you settled down.
So what does this what is the thing that they got from the Baron? What does it actually look like?
Slash, how easy is it? Is it really? We just don't have to trip when we walk behind the waterfall.
That seems like it seems like a defy danger. Somebody can roll a defy danger for everyone. With grace.
Okay, I'll try to do that then. I think I've got the best chance of that.
It seems like it, yeah.
It's a 7 plus my grace of 2, which gives us a 9.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah. Hard choice for success at a cost. Wow.
I will say let's do success at a cost. Maybe we get back there, but you just can't help but get like soaking wet. I don't know if that's really like enough of a cost, or if we need to like add something extra. Maybe it's a little chilly and like I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's
Is there harm? Is that a thing?
There isn't harm, but there's conditions instead of harm. That's why I'm thinking,
yeah.
you know, you get in there and you're like, you know, you've gone under this cold waterfall into this cold cave because it's just, you know, it's always cold underground, and are like kind of shivering and oh, I like that answer. Yeah. And like as you're like climbing up, because you kind of get like into and behind the waterfall, and then you have to like climb up a little slope of that's like kind of soft, slick rock. One of the rocks comes loose that you're holding onto, and like you managed to stay in place, but it's going to be harder to climb in because that's like a good well, it looked like a good handhold. It wasn't, it turned out. So it's going to be a little harder to get in and out of the waterfall now, or out of the cave. I like that answer. But you get there. And there's not a lot of twists and turns, and there's a tunnel that was just clearly, dug. And you follow it, and you come to like the end of it, and there's a bunch of like more holes dug in the floor. And some of them have been dug up, and like you can kind of tell where other ones haven't been dug up.
So basically, they've raided this stash a little over the years whenever they needed something.
Yeah.
Like creepy little burial mounds, kind of?
A little, yeah. Some of them are creepy big burial mounds. Some of them are like could actually hold a body. Most of them are not that big.
There's small bodies in the world.
Looks like the spot.
Okay. Ghosts are very small.
Ghosts are very small. They fit in pockets.
Yeah. Are all ghosts that small?
No. I have a war horse.
Yeah. Good point.
How about the horse?
Down and fit in your pocket?
I don't know. I mean, he's a war horse. I don't think he really wants to be a tiny little ghost in my pocket. I feel like
Really weird,
there's an ego thing with that, I'm sure, for him.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah, so like you can just dig stuff up, and I think you do find a broken sword. It feels weird. Feels a lot different from your stick. But like,
but now I'm a real warrior. I have a sword.
Yeah, I mean, it's broken. You need to, well, you would need to either attach a handle to it somehow, or somehow put it back together. Like both parts of the sword are there, but it might be easier to just attach a handle to the long part. The blade. It's like most of the blade is broken off, and then there's like a little short bit of the blade and the handle. But yeah, you can totally have a broken sword.
You could replace the metal of or the wood part of your current sword and put like metal in front of it.
You could tie it to the stick, and then you'd have a spear.
I guess my ghosts kind of bailed on me.
Well, one of them did. Yeah. I mean, they're
Teo
cowering in your pockets. There's a few.
Sure.
There's two of them left. Let's see which two.
Well, because there's my
demon, actually, not a ghost. Okay, the demon's fine.
Yeah, I mean, the demon probably doesn't live in my pocket either.
No.
I mean, gonna throw that out there.
It kind of lives in the other, in the astral plane or whatever, and it mostly comes when you call him. Not always, he's got a mind of his own. He's not a pet.
That is fair.
And Toya, you say?
Yeah.
Around? Toya is kind of cowering in your pockets, doing the equivalent of like hands over ears.
Oh.
But they're still with you.
Awesome. I guess maybe we can just figure out where the worst place to stand is. Sorry, Toya, but it might help.
Okay, I don't think you need to roll for that. I think like Toya will let you know what the most uncomfortable place to stand is.
Awesome. I think once I figure out which mound it is, I'll mark it and then take like 5 huge steps away and like try to console tiny little ghost Toya in my pocket.
Yeah, they like eventually kind of stop shivering and actually get up and look out of your pocket and watch the others, who I assume are you want to dig this up.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
That's where the
Uh,
bad sound is.
You find it's kind of a strange thing. It's like a smooth metal box with an etching of a star on the surface.
Oh, good.
Uh,
But it's like it's a metal box, but there's no obvious way to open it. There's not like you don't see hinges. It just sort of it's box shaped. Maybe it's a solid block, but it's not that heavy.
I think I sort of move it, like turn it around. Like, and does it feel like there's anything inside that's moving?
There's a very faint, almost like you might even be imagining it. You might just be shivering because it's cold, but it feels like there's just a very faint vibration that doesn't seem to depend on you moving it. It's just kind of always there.
I feel like I've some sort of vibration, like from this thing.
I mean, it does have your star on it.
Oh my God, is that my star?
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same shape that the leaves made.
Okay. I think she was like avoiding registering that just for a minute. It's like, oh, just a star. Yes, just a
star.
Damn it.
And Jenna's like, no, pay attention. This is for you. Like, also, I don't know what it means if my ghosts don't like being near your freaking box. That makes me nervous.
They don't like that vibration. I think you can figure that out. It does. It makes a noise, more or less, to them. Something that they can sense that you can't, but it's uncomfortable to them.
Okay, I'd look around the surface of the box and see if I can figure out a way to open it.
Doesn't seem to be anything obvious. There's no keyhole. If that makes sense.
I look at the star shape. Like, is it? You said it was etched.
Mm-hmm.
I try to press on the star shape.
Okay.
Should I defy danger to avoid setting off the trap?
A little needle shoots out and you feel a pinprick.
Yeah, actually do defy danger.
I was like, I know I can't use this thing without having to roll defy danger at least once. Should I roll it with grace or what do you think?
You're gonna hate this, but roll it with soul. I think.
Yeah,
maybe wit.
It's a ghost box.
Yeah, it's not really a ghost. I think wit makes more sense.
Okay, well that's not nearly so bad. All right, I have a +1 wit, so. Oh, that's a 12.
Oh, hey, you could have rolled it with soul.
Or wit at least.
Excellent. Yeah. So it doesn't open, but you do just feel like the vibration increase. Like it actually, you're clearly not imagining it now. And Toya like dives back into the pocket.
Jenna takes more steps back because poor Toya shouldn't have to deal with this.
Yeah.
But there's only so far she can go because she like wants to see what's in the box. And if you're standing like 10 steps away from something, it's getting harder and harder to see.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't open. It's still just a shiny metal, very smooth, polished box.
Does your sword have that symbol, or is that?
Oh, does it? Like, is that why you recognize the symbol when the leaves made it?
I think so. Maybe it's part of the there's that sort of star shape is part of the hilt.
Nice. Cool.
So she like draws the sword and then like sees if that particular part of the sword, like that part of the hilt, will activate anything. Like,
Oh, yeah,
that
you like
part of the
touch match the two up together.
Yep.
Yeah, you watched like that star in the box, like it seemed like it was just etched, but it like sinks into the metal. And it's like the sound now, you all can hear it. And it doesn't seem to bother Toya as much. Like
Is it annoying to us?
a little, it's kind of like a mosquito whine
Hmm.
in a big echoey cave, which is, it's a weird sound.
Yeah, look. I cautiously look into the box.
Yeah, you can see like there's a whole lot of wires. There's, it looks like some sort of flat crystal stuff. Something's kind of glowing. It's kind of a confusing mess.
Circuitry, what's that?
And I think she, she's sort of looking at it and thinking, odd. I've never seen anything like that. But how is the little sort of interior like circuitry apparatus laid out in there? Are the wires all on one side? Are they sort of like surrounding a central point? Do they crisscross like diagonals just all over the place? Like how?
Yeah, they're kind of just all over the place. I don't know that there's an obvious, like they'll go, some of them go to a particular point and then they'll like radiate out to other points, but at the same time others are crossing over the middle point, and it's hard to, I don't think there's a pattern that you would recognize or anything in it.
Okay, is there of the crystalline parts, is there any that are raised up above the board, the rest of the material in there?
Yeah, they're kind of, one of them is kind of loose and it's almost, floating is the wrong word because it's not like defying gravity or anything. It's just sort of laying on top of the wires, and then some other wires are attached to it.
Does it look like it's been taken out of another part of it, like it should fit like in some sort of like slot or notch or anything?
Yeah. There's there's part of it of the box that seems sort of empty compared to the rest. Like it's, there's a few wires across it because there's just wires everywhere, but it's not. It doesn't look as crowded as the rest. And as you look at it, you realize that there's kind of a little bit of almost like a wall inside, and if you lifted up the crystal and put it in that and like kind of fed the wires very carefully through the slot, it would fit in there.
Okay. I will try to very, very carefully do that.
Okay, you definitely do that, but roll to defy danger. Just want to see what happens here.
Okay, I'm gonna guess this is with grace, maybe.
Yeah.
Since I'm having to do like very particular little things. Okay, let's see how this goes. All right, that's an 11.
Okay, yeah, behold the sacred raspberry pie. How did you know that's the image I had in mind?
Got it.
Your descriptions were very clear.
11. Okay. Yeah, it lights up. The vibration stops.
Oh, thank God! I managed to turn that off. God, that was
yeah. And like it stopping kind of draws your attention to like how irritating it was because your head kind of aches now. But it has stopped. Toya like actually climbs out of Jenna's pocket to look around, and it's quiet. And you have this glowing box.
So, do either of you wizard types know what this is?
I mean, what color does it glow?
Yellow.
Okay. I'm guessing us witch types probably don't know what this is, other than it's from
Nope.
outer space.
Yeah, I mean, you can try rolling
Roll what?
something. There is no figure out a thing. There's a figure out a person, but not a figure out a thing, is there?
Well,
This
I
game is
do know a
missing an
bit about this
investigation.
person who's attached to this
That's true.
object.
That's true. Yep,
Hmm.
that works.
I'm okay with Mia not understanding or knowing.
Fair.
It seems like something on the other end of their knowledge
Yeah,
base.
makes sense.
That's fair. Is it plus wit?
Yes.
Figure out
Yeah,
people?
yeah.
Okay. Well, that is a 9.
Hey, all right. You guys are rolling really well today.
Yeah, it's to make up for last session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only so much failure.
You can ask 2 questions of the list, and they may ask one of you.
Oh,
I
that's
think in this case it would be Asheara could ask one of you.
okay. This is figure out a person?
Yep.
A person. Sorry, okay. So am I asking questions to Asheara or am I asking to the box?
You're trying to figure out a person, so and it's based on your knowledge of Asheara.
Okay.
So I think you would ask them of Asheara.
Okay. So many questions.
Those are good questions, although they're not very direct when it comes to figuring out the box.
Yeah, pretty much. Asheara, what do you hope to get from this box?
I think she was kind of, especially once it opened to the touch of that ancestral sword, I think she was hoping that like there was going to be like some answer or something she could use to figure out an answer or to give her some sort of insight. Right now she's staring at something she doesn't really understand that seems to react to both her touch and her sword, but she has no idea what it is still. Like, so she's a little bit frustrated. She feels like she should know. Like all of this stuff is reacting to me, like it knows who I am, but I still don't know what it is.
Okay. I guess that also kind of hits on the other part of like what were your feelings towards this object? Because I guess you want to know what this. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I understood.
Yes, she wants to know what it does. Like this is the first thing she's encountered that's actually a solid object that's connected to this prophecy.
Okay.
Like this is her first like literal physical encounter with some object of this prophecy. And she's like, wow, it reacted to me. It opened when my sword touched it. Like I managed to get it to do something. I don't know what it did, but like it made noise and then it stopped making noise. And now it doesn't seem to be doing anything.
Okay.
And I have no idea why it did any of those things that it did before. So like she really wants to know more, but isn't sure how to figure out more about it.
Okay. So I can ask questions that are stuff I don't actually want to have happen.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to act on the answers.
Well, awesome. Okay. How could I get you to give up the box? In the future you associated with it.
I think she would be willing to give up the box if she was sure that doing so wouldn't cause trouble for the people she cares about. Because what her main worry was, like, that sort of led her to sort of go off on this tear about leaving, was that she was scared that some more of this prophecy business was going to come back and hurt people in the village and both of you. And so if she could be convinced that like letting go of this thing wouldn't cause more trouble like that, she would be willing to let it go.
Cool. And
But
I
she
think
still really wants to know what's in it, what it does, though. Like, so there's that conflicting thing. Like, she still really,
yeah. I mean, just wanted to ask the question. Don't necessarily want to act on it, but you always got to have an out somewhere.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Seems important.
But like but that's the thing. Like, she thinks she has to pursue this thing in order to kind of take the heat off of the people she cares about, and if she was comfortable that letting go of the box wouldn't cause any more trouble to anybody else, she would probably be willing to let go of the box. But she also now, because this is the first concrete proof she's had of anything, really, really wants to know what the heck the box is.
Maybe you can help us fight the soldiers.
Yeah, we'll see. You do have a question you can ask of me.
Look at this list again.
Sorry, before we get too excited about trying to sort out the rest of it.
Let's see. What do you hope to get from the box?
Yeah. That is. So most of Jenna's associations with this box are realizing that the ghosts didn't like it. So she's kind of hoping to learn why the ghosts don't like it, and if that means that she can't go places that have this kind of technology, or this, like, if she wants to be with these ghosts that are her only friends other than you two, does that mean potentially going into a future on a spaceship? Who knows? She's a little bit of foresight into possibilities. Does that mean she has to give up her ghosts? Does she have to give up her friends that are not human in that process? So hoping to learn if this has influence over future decisions she has to make, or if it's just a box and who cares.
Okay. Good to know.
Also, Jenna steps a little bit closer, because if Toya doesn't seem mad or scared by the box, it's important to know its range. Also, there's friends over there, 10 steps away.
No, they're fine with it.
Awesome.
Okay, and like Asheara is like sort of set it down, and is sort of looking down into it now, just with a very puzzled look on her face. And she looks up as Jenna or Mia, whichever one of you approaches first. She's like, "Can you make any sense of this?"
I think Mia is probably closer.
Yeah, I mean, Mia will come over and like start poking it. The equivalent of pressing buttons.
Are there buttons in there? I didn't realize there were buttons.
No, there aren't any buttons.
Okay.
Just wires, a few crystals, like weird flat things, and one glowing thing. So, yeah, why don't you defy danger, Mia?
Yeah, sure. With what?
How are you poking at it? Is it just like completely, I don't know, poking at it randomly, or are you trying to do something?
No, I'm trying. Okay, let me put it this way. I am trying to make it do something by poking at it randomly.
Got it. Okay, so I think that is probably not wit.
No.
I think that's well, okay. So does Mia think this is magic or something else?
I don't think Mia knows what it is, but she's not above maybe using magic to try to get a reaction out of it.
Okay, well, in that case, it would be soul.
Cool. Well, I guess it's a good thing that it was soul. because I rolled a 4. But Mia has a +3 soul, so we're fine.
Oh.
Okay. Hard choice or success at a cost. Wow. I mean, what are you? Do you have anything in mind that you're trying to make it do?
Not really.
Just see what happens.
Asheara was like, "Is this helpful? I don't know." And
Okay.
Mia's like, "Let's make it do something, and then maybe we'll know how it does things."
Fair. Yeah, you feel like a jolt go through you. You're not hurt, but it was weird. It was like that tingling feeling from the wellspring, which you were already feeling anyway, but concentrated. It went past like the kind of pleasantness of the tingling feeling, and like that was kind of scary.
Yeah, I think like Mia lets out a little bit of a yelp and drops it as that happens.
Okay.
Something's in there. Not really sure what, but there's something going on.
Jenna peers carefully into it to see if perhaps Mia got bit by a ghost thing and didn't know it.
So you don't see a ghost.
That's all. I'm just
Okay.
looking. Jenna's not going to touch it. Jenna is not
Okay.
that brave.
Oh, yeah, you don't see a ghost.
Jenna doesn't actually know how she feels about this box and doesn't really want to physically invite it
Fair.
into her space, but does not mind trying to see if there's a ghost in it, because that's always a question for Jenna.
Cool. Yeah, no ghost, and it zapped you. Or is that Mia? And
Except my friend. Don't
Yep.
like.
And I think Asheara says, I wonder if I should like tap or press this glowing part.
It's all you, honey. I'm
I mean,
sure it'll go great.
You did move it around, and it started glowing. So
I'll try to do that. Just
Sure.
sort of press it, not like too hard, just enough to actually put pressure on it, so that if it's a switch, it would flip, or if it's a button, it would be pressed. Or
okay, that makes sense.
I'm not mashing it like it's a slow elevator button, is what I'm saying. I'm just
Got it. You're just like touching it to see. Okay.
Good safety skills.
Yeah. In that case, I don't think you need to roll. I think it just starts vibrating again. It's a little different this time. Toya doesn't seem too bothered by it, like a little bit disturbed, but not like before. And you can't hear it. And then it like the lid, it just snaps shut. Almost get your finger, but I didn't make you roll to not get your finger cut off. So we'll just you managed to avoid that.
okay. So it's closed itself. Now what is it doing?
Yep. Still vibrating, although a little less. It's a different frequency. The ghosts seem to be okay with it, more or less. Like it's still not great, but it's.
So when I touch it, I can feel like that sort of hum kind of.
Yeah, it's back to the point where like if you hadn't seen it, do this before, you might think you were just like imagining it, or like maybe you were just your hands were shaking because you were cold or something. It's very faint.
Okay. Interesting.
It's also getting warm.
Like the box itself is getting warm?
Yeah.
I set it back down. And sort of.
Nothing happens. It's just vibrating slightly, and you can hear it a little bit now. It's vibrating against the rock.
Okay, I'm going to kind of put a pin in that. Okay, so we've got this weird thing in here that's reacting to me and my sword. So I'm going to just let it sit there, and kind of and continue to investigate what else is in here in case it might be something else we can actually use.
You find like some just knickknacks and a little bit of money, which is nice. It's like really old foreign money. You think you don't recognize the symbols on it, but it's clearly money.
I'll leave the money. I'm not really worried about that.
Other than that, it seems to have been pretty cleared out. Like, things have been dug up over the years, but you don't see like another spot that has been buried there and hasn't been dug up.
Okay, so we've dug up everything that's still left to be dug up.
Yep.
Dug up in here. Yes, that. Okay. All right. I guess right now it's that this box is probably safest in here, because nobody else is going to come in here and mess with it. I'd like to try.
It seems like it's for you. Maybe you should take it with you.
Yeah, but I don't know what to do with it yet, and I honestly trust it to be safe here more so than I would in my really easy to get into hut in the village.
You have a point there.
You also have a backpack. You could bring it with you instead of.
Yeah, I could do that. I'm still not sure what it does though, and I sort of like touch it again, not on the star part, but just sort of like to see if it's still heating up more.
No, it's kind of leveled off. Like it's not like hot. It's just not cold like you would expect a piece of metal to be in a cave.
Okay.
I mean, how can you know what it does if you don't bring it with you?
She's got a point.
Well, that is okay. Yeah, that is true. That is true.
And who knows? Maybe it'll be helpful. I do know that Periwinkle said that there was stuff in here that would, the
Are you trying to influence her?
Yeah. Let's do it.
You have all those strings. You might as well use them.
I do. Okay. Influence with a string. Oh, I can just give the.
Can I offer XP to do something, or?
Yeah, I'll offer you an XP to take it with you.
I'll totally take that.
Cool.
And I will put it in my I'll put it in my backpack.
Cool. Okay. Is there anything else that y'all wanted to do before the time when who knows how many people are scheduled to arrive at the clearing?
The soldiers.
I mean, it could be an entire army for all you know.
Well, that's why there's traps.
Yep.
So many.
So they're gonna be busy.
Traps.
And I also kind of want to let kind of be, if there's a way to do it, set up a couple of things for us to hide behind.
Okay. Yeah, you can totally do that. Just like duck blind kind of things.
Yeah, just something that is you would have to really be looking for it to spot us if we were behind these things.
The perfect duck blind.
Yeah, you can totally do that.
So sneaky.
You can.
We set up these, and then we hear a cough from nearby, and Phoebe steps out of her duck blind that we didn't notice because.
Yeah, totally, absolutely. One thing you do notice that night, Asheara, is that there's an extra star in that constellation that keeps following you.
It found you.
I'm not sure if that's good or bad. It's different though.
Something new.
And depending on when she notices it, she might say something to either Jenna or Mia, whichever one of them is close.
When do you like? Is there a particular time of day that this constellation appears, or is it just like as long as it's dark, you can see it?
I think like it's I mean, it's got to be full dark for her to really be able to pick them out. So it's generally going to be like at least probably an hour after dusk. Like, so
Okay.
you really have to be able to see up there. So maybe what about 7-ish, 7:30, somewhere in that
Sure.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
So dinner time.
Yeah.
Okay, so if she notices it, like while she's close to either Jenna or Mia, she'll definitely mention it. That's,
Yeah, and I think like
and she'll
I
point
think
out
you
the new
probably
one.
would
She'll be
all
like,
be.
I think Jenna just gets sad and quiet. Doesn't really respond otherwise.
Yeah. What does Mia do?
Yeah, I mean, Mia's just kind of like interested in. It's like, so do you? It's obviously connected, but like, do you know the whole prophecy? Do you know what they say about it?
I don't know. I mean, I've never heard anybody anybody identify it as anything. Like, I know that one, that one is the lion, and that one is the eagle, and this other one is the water carrier. But nobody's ever told me what this one is.
Hmm.
Don't think I know that one either. Which
I
is
mean, I don't know.
Do other people normally see it?
I think you can see it, but like most
Okay.
people aren't gonna like. Most people aren't unless it's their job.
Mhm.
They're not going to just go up there and stare and go, "Oh, that's unusual. I wonder where did that
Right.
where did that
And
come
it moves, so they can't use it for navigation. So they probably like it's not one they look for.
They're like, oh, it's probably just a meteor shower or something.
Yeah. Yep.
mm,
Cool. Yeah. So like,
Is the new star brighter than the other ones?
yes, yes, it is. It's kind of the same color, like that kind of yellowish white. That the box was glowing.
I think she will ponder that for a bit. Be a little worried about what that means because this is the first time anything significant's changed about that. So.
Well, we can't really solve anything now. I mean, it's the stars and stuff, and tomorrow we have big plans, and we should probably be well rested for that or something.
Gotta fight a bunch of soldiers.
Yes.
Asheara, are you carrying this box with you everywhere, or do you have it
Yes.
stashed somewhere? Okay.
No. She's carrying it with her. I took that XP.
Oh, right. Yes. So Jenna, your ghosts are kind of avoiding Asheara.
Nice.
They're not like staying far away like they were from the clearing before, but they're like keeping their distance.
I think that kind of makes Jenna want to slightly keep her distance because, like, she's been so used to following the whims of ghosts that she doesn't realize that she's doing it.
Yeah. Excellent.
And let's see, maybe Asheara starts to like get that vibe too, like, wow, everybody's sort of like not, everybody's sort of pulling back a little bit. And I think she is in an attempt to kind of help her sleep after all this. I think she's going to partake a little bit of whatever wine or other alcoholic beverages she has stashed around the house.